Hello. I'm just going to make sure that everything populates okay before I start. I don't usually get it on to doing live this early because it's noon here, which makes it 9 on the West Coast. And I tend to have a few people on the West Coast that watch me live, but um, I'm doing two other live events. Tonight, I have a panel that I'm doing, a political discussion that I'm excited about. And then I'm always excited to do the Biden Harris Watch at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the reason why I wanted to go live right now was because I'm incredibly concerned. Let me just see if this is correct here. I've been really concerned with how, yeah, I'm going to see if this works here, actually. Sorry. My Twitter streaming seems to be a little bit strange. I see it here. Okay, I'm going to just share this really fast. There we go. Okay, pardon me for a moment. I just want to share this stream to Twitter. I think Twitter's just being strange right now. Okay, I'm going to try to share it one more time. I wanted to get on and talk about Trump's diagnosis because I've been very concerned with how people are discussing it. Especially the first thing that everybody said today was, this has got to be a hoax. Trump's going to be lying about this. And I understand that we've all been really beaten up by how Trump has discussed everything in the past, right? We know that he's a pathological liar and that this is not something, I'm just saying that I'm live now, live talking about Trump's COVID diagnosis. Pardon me. Okay. I've been really concerned with how people are handling this moment. And sorry for my table being shaky. Trump is a narcissist, right? He's got he most likely has narcissistic personality disorder. And no, I am not a psychologist. Okay, hi. I'm not a psychologist, obviously. I have talked to my father-in-law, who is a psychologist, about narcissistic personality disorder for 4 years now. Why would I talk to him about that? What happened 4 years ago? Trump got elected. Now, there is a problem with diagnosing somebody narcissistic personality disorder. There's a kind of a catch-22 with it. People who are narcissists don't tend to think that they are, and therefore don't go to psychologists to get diagnosed. Okay? But there are a few traits that narcissistic personality disorder is associated with. One, they tend to lack empathy. They tend to be grandiose. They tend to be showmanship people. They usually are people in high leadership positions or CEOs. And by the way, there's a lot of great psychologists who talk about narcissistic personality disorder. You can see talks about it online. There's a woman named Romney Durvasula. I recommend you look at her talks. But she has said that only 1 to 3% of people have been diagnosed with personality disorder. What I find interesting about that is how many people have all of the wealth in the world? 1 to 3%. Isn't that a coincidence, right? Because narcissistic personality disorder tend to be cutthroat people who will do anything to get their way, to get anything they want, including bullying, exploiting, intimidating, bullying, belittling, having a sense of entitlement. Who does that sound like? That is Trump. So why in the world do any of you think that Trump would lie about COVID when he can't even admit that he lost during the debates? He clearly was terrible at the debate. He clearly did. Anybody, it doesn't matter if you, it does not matter if you witnessed that spectacle at all. If you got to witness it in any way, you can totally tell that he did not do well. He can't even admit that to himself. He was online the other day saying, why would I allow the debate commission to change the rules? I clearly won. Okay? Why would a man like that admit to then why would a man like that then say that he has COVID if he doesn't? First, let me say this. I had a couple people say to me, well, Maya, maybe he is lying and saying he had COVID because we want to get away from talking about his taxes. I got bad news for you all. The media stopped talking about taxes about 5 minutes after the debate started. Chris Wallace, the debate moderator, didn't even really talk about the taxes. It came in, it bounced out. When Biden tried to talk about it, Trump immediately interrupted it. And the media just stopped talking about it already. So Trump is not going to say he has COVID to get away from the tax discussion. Somebody else said to me, Maya, maybe he's trying to distract from Russian interference. Why? We already know that Russia is trying to interfere. We all know that already. Just because he has COVID or says he has COVID doesn't take away from the fact that that's still happening. We know that it's still happening, okay? People are saying, well, maybe, and I brought this up for a second, they said, maybe he's trying to get away from the bad debate. Again, he doesn't think he did bad at the debate. So why is he going to lie about COVID to distract from the debate? What I am most frustrated and upset about is that a lot of people have been so browbeaten by Trump's lies. And Trump's lies have been dangerous and reckless, and they have endangered people's lives. But he has spent 7 months grooming his base to believe that this is a hoax, that it's going to go away, that it's not really going to harm him or them, right? So to then get diagnosed with COVID and then to admit to it, please tell me how he benefits from that. You cannot, because he does not. This destroys a narrative that he has created for 7 months. It destroys that he is this invincible person, that he's going to be this Putin-esque leader for another 20 years. That destroys that. It destroys his narrative that he created, which is law and order, and these leftists are trying to destroy America because the media is completely off that now. And Trump wanted that to be the conversation. Do you really think that Trump wants to have a conversation about the 210,000 people that have died? Do you really think that Trump wants to have that conversation? He fucking does not. Because it now centers this disease back right into where it should be, which is that we are in a pandemic, that this disease is tricky, that this guy who has the best doctors in the world, that has the best protections in the world, that can get rapidly tested every day, still got it. Do you understand? So I want all of you to harvest your critical thinking skills and recognize that the focus is in the wrong place, right? People are saying, okay, we got to focus on him lying right now. No, we don't. Mike Lee, who is a Republican, he's a Utah senator, he was just diagnosed with COVID-19. The head of the RNC, Ronna McDaniels, who's Mitt Romney's niece, she just was diagnosed with coronavirus. This means Hope Hicks and Trump and maybe Pence have been super spreaders, potentially super spreaders of this disease, which means y'all are focusing on the wrong thing. Is that our current government could be in legitimate crisis right now, right? These are older people, right? And I understand there's a little bit of schadenfreude, right? A little bit of like, oh, he got this disease. By the way, I mean this. I don't wish this disease on anyone. This is not how I want us to win. I want us to win because he's been a criminal, because he's been grotesque, because he's harmed people, because he's put people's lives in danger. I want him out of the White House. I don't want this to cause, I mean, when Herman Cain died, that was a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Every single person who has died, all 210,000 people who have died. This has been a tragedy. The million of people that have died of COVID around the world. This is a tragedy. Okay? So please refocus. We have, someone said, Trump canceled a phone call, which tells me he's not doing well, right? Listen, Trump is somebody who is the prime target to die from this disease. Do you understand that? And I know people are just like, oh, I don't care. He's killed a bunch of people. Guess what? He's got a son. He's got several sons. He's got a young son. So maybe chill out. Let the Republicans who are serving in Congress, let them be evil. Let them be awful and vote them out, because evil people shouldn't be in office. But don't you be susceptible to that cynicism. Why are you going to be susceptible to someone's death? Have you lost someone? I have. I was at my mother's bedside when she died. I held her hand when she died. My grandfather died 30 days later from heartbreak. Do you understand how painful it is to lose somebody? So don't wish this disease on anybody, okay? Now, I understand feeling like, well, you know, he didn't protect himself and, you know, a lot of people died. And so I'm mad. That is understandable. You can be totally pissed about that. And you can be pissed about him lying and saying that this is not a big deal, that this disease isn't very bad, right? That you can be totally pissed about. He endangered all of our lives by doing it, right? It is what it is, he said. That was disgusting. And you could be mad about that. But don't be gleeful about the fact of people maybe dying, okay? That's just the type of cynicism that we have to get rid of from ourselves and from this country, frankly, okay? Don't let us be cynical. Let them be cynical if they want to. And I hope their cynicism breaks soon too. Okay. Now let me get to something else. It's 32 days before the election. Why am I yelling? Because I'm fucking mad. I can yell if I want to. Licking lips, Larry, fuck off. Okay? Get out of here. That's my fucking life. I can yell if I want to. Okay? Second of all, there's 32 days left before the election. She's not yelling the hell. Oh, well, he just wants to be a troll, and it's fine. His name is Licking Lips Larry anyway, so who cares? Sounds disgusting. This is what I'm going to say right now. There's 32 days left before the election. 32 days. That is it. 32 days of voting left. 32 days till voting ends. Do you understand? So right now, while everybody's online, does he or does he not have COVID? He has COVID. What are you going to do the next 32 days? An election as of now is still happening. We might go into some constitutional crisis. We've always been on the verge of it for a very long time, but we still have an election right now. Somebody else asked me, how does Biden run against somebody who's diagnosed with COVID? Very easily. He centers this conversation back to the fact that 210,000 people have died from COVID. He centers this conversation back to people are still getting diagnosed in a record number. I think I heard a number yesterday saying that around Christmas time, maybe 3,000 people a day will start being diagnosed, at least in this country, maybe 4,000. We're still in a pandemic. So I'm telling you right now, that we have an opportunity to refocus on the fact that this is a pandemic, that people are getting sick, that children's lives are at stake, that older people's lives are at stake, that disabled people's lives are at stake, that Black people, Latino people are disproportionately dying from this disease. So that is another reason why Trump is not lying about this. He has now focused this entire election away from his law and order messaging back onto the fact that this disease is real. Okay? So let's focus. And if you can, volunteer for campaigns. Make texts, do calls, donate money, get your ballot early, send it in early. If you want to vote in person early, totally fine. But make sure you're masked up, that you're socially distanced, and that if you're going to vote on an electronic machine, if they can have, they should be able to give you some sort of printout of your vote. Make sure you have a record of it, okay? But what is this saying? They said his campaign is not slowing down and they will continue their COVID messaging. Of course they will, right? And that's what I'm saying. But it won't ramp up attacks on Trump. Trump's campaign is still going to try to figure out how to thread this needle of like, we got, yes, we're sick, but it's not that big of a deal. Of course he's going to try to do that. But right now, a staffer, Hope Hicks, is sick. Like she apparently is experiencing symptoms, right? And someone said today that Trump is experiencing mild symptoms. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. he's going to try to message on it however he wants to try to message about this. But the fact is that he has it. And having COVID and admitting to COVID in no way benefits his campaign. The only way he could turn this around is to just do some big, huge mea culpa. I was wrong about the whole thing. You all should wear masks. We should increase testing. I highly doubt the narcissist is going to do that. Okay? Because the narcissist, sorry for the table shake, still lives in the delusion of grandeur. Okay? So 32 days, please stay focused. Understand that this is real. I did a thread on Twitter if you want to read it about why I firmly believe that Trump has it, that he's not lying about it. Let's focus. Let's not give into conspiracy theories the way other groups give into conspiracy theories. Let's not repeat what Canon does and white supremacists do, which is make up things or question reality. Let's stop doing that too. Okay? All right. Well, I will see you all later. I will be on later tonight for the Biden-Harris watch, and I'm having a conversation at 7 p.m. I will be with Maya Rupert, who, as you know, was Julian Castro's campaign manager. And that's it. I'll see y'all soon. And if I want to yell on my live stream, I will yell because I'm a passionate person. Okay? I'm in North Carolina. Oh, Harris-Obama fundraiser. There's a Harris-Obama fundraiser? Tonight. Sounds good. I'm sure none of the fundraising is going to stop right now. Everything is still continuing. Okay? I'll see y'all soon. Bye.